Welcome, Marks, to another edition of the HallMarks podcast. This is brought to you in part by the Oh Guys Productions, powered by RealNerdCorp.com, live on twitch.tv/RealNerdCorp.com, or live on twitch.tv/RealNerdCorp. Yeah, I'm Rusty. Just kidding. Don't call me Rusty. My name's actually Alex Swisher, and I'm your hosting mark for the evening, this edition of the HallMarks podcast, joined as always, my trusty co-host, fellow Hallmark, Chad Porto.
Welcome. It's Christmas time in the Ohio, guys.
Yes, there is. I would say there's snow on the ground, but there's not. It's just been fucking raining.
We might get snow because we're only a few miles northern of you, so we might get some snow tonight, depending on if the temperature dips enough.
We've gotten a little bit of snow, but it's all melted, and now we're just getting rain here in Columbus. But who knows? It's just like Daniel Bryan taught when he was doing his heel run, talking to all the WWE fans. Ohio's weather is fickle.
You're not wrong.
Oh, yeah. I have an even worse joke. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay. Ohio's weather is not Einhorn. Ohio's weather is fickle. I know it's Finkel, but
so this was the last edition of the Hallmark podcast.
You were saying?
So the running gag joke about Ohio weather is if you don't like it, wait 5 minutes.
Wait 5 minutes, yeah.
With the lake effect, it does cause a lot of issues. So we're doing 3 small podcasts back to back to back. So this is only going to be like 20 or 30 minutes tops. I can't see us hitting 30 minutes on this movie.
There's no way that I can see us maybe doing 30 to 45 for 9 Lives for Christmas, which is going to be one of the movies that we do. It'll probably be the last one we do because it's the best. I can see us maybe doing 30 to 45 for that. I can see us maybe hitting 30 for the other one that we're going to do as well, which I believe is A Date. That one was actually pretty good too. This one, however, this was a movie that Lacey Chabert did because she needed the money. There's no heart and no soul and no passion in this movie to me. The movie we're talking about it's called Family for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Hallmark original movie that came out in 2015, I believe.
So here's the thing. This movie had the best premise of the 3. It's a Scrooge McDuckian type of tale. You wake up with what you thought it was everything, and then you wake up with nothing, and then you have to go and it's a Wonderful Life. This is essentially the story.
I love that you thought like you went straight to Scrooge McDuck and not just A Christmas Carol with Ebenezer Scrooge.
I couldn't remember it. I remember his name was Scrooge, and I was like, yes, that'll work. By the by, let's just be honest, Muppets Christmas Carol is the only Christmas Carol worth a damn.
I don't know. On BTE today, Being the Elite, they did a Christmas Carol with Frankie Kazarian and the Best Friends in Orange Cassidy, and boy oh boy, was it fucking good.
Well, you said the magic words BTE, so I already know I won't like it.
Let me just tell you what happens, since I know you're not gonna watch it.
Fair.
That basically, the running gag is that Frankie Kazarian has been a dickhead to Brandon Cutler, and he also needs to take anger management classes, but refuses to do so. So he gets visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, being Trent, Chuck, and Orange Cassidy. So he gets visited by Trent, and Trent's in a big fucking red blanket, and that's it. He's just wearing this red blanket. He's got his hat on and everything, and he just goes, "Sup, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, hey, Trent." Trent with a question mark, and Trent goes, "Oh, I'm not Trent." He goes, "What?" And he goes, "No, I'm not Trent. I'm a fucking ghost, dude." And I lost it right there. I was like, okay, I see where this is going. He's like, I'm a fucking ghost. He's like, you got to be nicer to Brandon. And then that's basically it. Is that him, Chuck, and Orange try to convince. They have to convince Frankie Kazarian to take anger management classes and also be nicer to Brandon Cutler. But him just standing there going, I'm not Trent. I'm a fucking ghost, dude.
Well, maybe it would be awesome if it wasn't Brandon Cutler. But, you know.
I mean, yeah, you raise a good point. I mean, Brandon Cutler sucks, but
yeah, he's a schmuckaholic. Speaking of
man,
schmuckaholics, let's talk about Lacey Chabert and Tyron Listo.
Tyron Litso. Oh boy.
So there's a theory. There's a theory.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the theory we have.
Okay.
In 99 out of 100 instances, the Hallmark movie is nothing more than a wagon or a transport, if you will, to try to get the chick over. That's their sell.
100%.
And that makes sense because predominantly their audience is 35 and up white female. So obviously most of their movies are going to be about 35-year-old and up white females. I get it. We're here for it. It's not the issue. But because the idea is to make the chick the star, the woman the star, they end up having to find ways of downplaying their male co-stars. Sometimes that's fine. Sometimes you get magic where it doesn't matter how hard you try, both of them shine brightly. Other times they know that this is just a movie for Lacey Chabert, a project to put over Lacey Chabert. That's fine. Again, we know this. We're here for it. The unfortunate problem is usually when that's the case, when it's just a project to get one star over, everyone else is basically a cardboard cutout. And that was no different
100%.
Here. Yep, it was no different.
100%.
No different.
This is definitely like, this feels like one of those Hallmark movies. So here's the thing. There are stars in Hallmark that I think absolutely just run the gambit and can get any movie they want made.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lacey Chabert is one of those because she's just in everything on Hallmark. So I guarantee you there was probably like a director that he was sitting down with or a producer or somebody at Hallmark, and she was like, what if I just woke up one day on Christmas and I had a completely different life with a husband and kids, and I was like a single independent woman, and then through the magic of the spark that I had once lost, it's like, you couldn't have been more self-centered, could you?
No,
because
she could have. Because
she could have.
That's where this movie, I think, ultimately hits the crux. There's really no point. Because So so let's start with the movie and we'll explain in greater detail as we go.
Yeah, I mean, I can give the synopsis from the Hallmark.
We don't even need it.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit it all because I literally just finished watching it. So we start the movie 10 years in the past, and I'm gonna tell you what, 38 or 28 or 18, Lacey Chabert has wide range because that woman does not age. And she's like getting ready to go to take an internship at a news agency. I forget where she ends up moving to. It's definitely Toronto, at least in terms, or Vancouver in terms of where they're shooting.
The San Francisco.
It's supposed to be San Francisco. Okay.
It's supposed to be San Francisco.
Well, yeah. I know in the suburbs of San Francisco. Oh yeah, because she goes to work. Yeah, that's right. So they're both in San Francisco. All right, that's right. So she goes to work in San Francisco, and she becomes a hotshot TV news personality. Yeah, but the thing is, we don't know why. Because like she starts the movie with dating this guy, Tyron Listo, Ben Matthews. And
no, she did. Well, yeah, she starts the movie dating,
and she goes off to San Francisco. You know, after he gives her the key to his heart, which is so schmarmy and corny. I love it. Oh, it's so good. Mwah, peak schmaz.
Awful.
It's so smazzy. I love it. So she's like, I'll never stop loving you. You know that there's nothing that'll ever make me stop. Like, don't tell me you know that. And he's like, I know that. She's like, good. 10 years later, she stopped loving him. So clearly she lied. But we don't
lying bitch.
Right? We don't know what happened between then and now. So like, all right, whatever. That's the big issue. Like, we don't know why they broke up. But then
True.
she's like very much into her producer guy boyfriend, and she's super into him, and he doesn't give two shits about her.
Oh man, that one. What a girl! So she starts dating her producer at the TV station that she works for. Grant Walker
Mm-hmm.
is the character's name. Also, I just wanna put this out there. She's like an action news reporter. Is like the best possible title you could give for her career. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Action news reporter. Okay. So on the Hallmark description in the synopsis, they call her an investigative journalist.
Well, I guess that's also fair because that's essentially what they do. You know,
I feel like
she's not.
there are interns that do that for her.
Well, yes, but also like, you know, there are varying degrees. Like I can call myself a media member because I write about the Browns, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm Walter Cronkite. You know, like you can still take a little acknowledgement, but still not be completely like top of the class, so to speak. That makes sense.
See what you're saying?
Like it's a big gap, I believe, varying degrees.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
so she ends up getting broken up with and gets a promotion in New York, and then she runs into a Santa Claus who's like, "Hey, I totally know who you are, even though that's super creepy. Would you like to have a Christmas wish?" And she's like, "I got everything I ever need." Well, it's not about what you need, it's about what you want. I got whatever I want too. It's like, get the fuck out of here, Santa. You're creepy. And he's like, "Okay, but like, I'm warning you." So she wakes up after going to bed. She wakes up in a completely different house with kids that she doesn't recognize and married to her ex-boyfriend who, we don't know why she broke up with. So let's be clear about who she is prior to this point. She gives credit to people she works with. She's in a monogamous and happy relationship up until the guy decides, And for the most part, she's a good person who's investigating bad people. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what she needs to, find out about herself. Like, she's doing pretty well. Like, think about, like, Scrooge. Dude hates everyone. Even little Tiny Tim. And he's a little tadpole with a broken leg. How do you hate Tiny Tim? Then you think of, like, It's a Wonderful Life, and it's a dude who doesn't appreciate his life. Lacey Chabert character appreciates her life. So, again, the hell? This is a movie that we're going to sit in the middle, and that's going to be enough. We didn't go to any extremes here, and that's the issue.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because this is definitely not the case of like she's unhappy with her life and she wished things had gone in a different direction. Sure, she might have some regrets, but what life is lived that doesn't have any regrets?
I wouldn't even say regrets. She, even in the movie, says this is a what if.
Yeah.
Perfect example of a what if. Did you know that they had set up Jean-Luc Picard to die at the end of season 3 of Star Trek in case Patrick Stewart didn't renew his deal?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he became a Borg because if we got to kill him off, this is the best way to do it. That's a what if. No one's sitting here going, "God, I'm really glad that Patrick Stewart left," or "God, I really the show would have been a lot better if Patrick Stewart had left." No, it's a what if. What if Patrick Stewart left? Like, that's a fun thing to think about, but we're not wishing for it. Lacey Chabert's character never wished to know what it was like to marry her ex-boyfriend. So this is where I think the movie stalls.
Right.
Is that there's no real emphasis or point of onus to jumpstart the story.
So the plot hook they use to jumpstart the story is that she gets like a random Facebook request from him, from Ben, the old flame, which even then, 10 years removed, you're talking about a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's talk about people in general. Say, for example, if Chad and I, here's the thing. Chad and I actually do have an example of this, whereas we weren't completely different people, but we had changed so much in the time that we had spent apart from one another during a period of time where we weren't speaking to one another, that literally when we came back together and bonded our friendship, we were different people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was only a period of 2 years, if that?
2 or 3 years, maybe at best.
Yeah. So imagine if you and I hadn't spoken to each other in 10 years, how different of people we would be.
Well, I would have been happier.
That's the thing. I don't think I'd be depressed, but
It's all right.
we take what we can get in this life.
It was sitting there. It was juicy. I had a swing, man.
Of course. Look, man. If you're on a golf course and you see a ball sitting on a tee, you don't not swing at it.
That's why I keep getting fired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I keep getting thrown off golf courses. So yeah, she gets this friend request, and then the Santa, it's like a random like Salvation Army Santa, who's like is like, oh, great story. Her name's Hannah Dunbar, by the way. Hannah, because she just broke this huge big story, and then the next day she literally wakes up in a new bed, in a new home, in the suburbs of San Francisco.
I'm gonna send you a picture of the Santa, and you fucking tell me this isn't David Penzer.
That's Dave Penzer. He looks like a Buffer brother.
He does. He really does. Keith McKinnon.
He looks like a Buffer brother. Damn, there's Bruce, Michael, and Keith.
I bet you his name's not even Keith. It's probably Keith.
Keith. Keif.
He changed his name because he didn't want to be associated with his brothers anymore. Keith Buffer. Ironically enough, Keith Buffer does bingo and auction calls. Fun fact.
Well,
yeah.
Look, where I'm from, auctions, you don't get any better than an auction.
No. UFC boxing man events? Cattle calling. Right here. Keith with the cattle calls.
So, Lacey Chabert, Hannah Dunbar, whatever you want to call her, wakes up in this new strange bed. She has no idea what's going on, but she's very rapidly finding out that she is married. She has 2 children. She never got on the plane, and she's like, this all can't be right. I'm gonna go sort this out. So she gets out of bed, runs out and steals her own van that she owns, and heads off to her former life. But her former life doesn't exist. Nobody's ever heard of her. She can't get into her apartment. She can't get into her work. This is all erased. So she eventually drives back to her house, and as this lady, Tammy, knocks on her car door and welcomes herself in. And through like a process of like not even sly, it's like the most obvious question answer bullshit of all time, she kind of figures out what what her life is like. She talks to the Santa, doesn't she, before she gets back?
Yeah, there's a second conversation with the Santa, because what she ends up happening is she wakes up, freaks out, tries to go to her old apartment, she's locked out, tries to go to her job, she doesn't have one, bumps into the Santa, and he's like, I didn't do shit. You on your own. And she's like, what?
His whole fucking part of the conversation was him going, I didn't do anything. You did it. This is what you wanted. And it's like, well, no. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't interfered, Kraus. Fuck, my tongue doesn't work in my mouth properly. I called him a German. You fucking German. Well, he is German. Santa, St. Nicholas, yeah. It's based off of German, Germanic pagan.
I thought it was Swedish, Norwegian,
Slavic. Who knows?
I had
Germanic.
I had a name joke, but I completely forgot it now.
Sorry.
It's all right.
So yeah, he's basically like, she's like, well, how do I get out of this? I want my normal life back. And he's like, that's up for you to figure out. I can't help you. You're the one who put her here. You use your magic, Santa.
It's solid stuff.
It's rock solid. Rock solid. This story and the plot of this movie have the solid is like built on a solid foundation of drywall, And any kind of actual forethought or thinking or deep diving into the details of the plot is a fist from a dude named Kyle. It just punches right through it.
So she goes to the Santa, then goes back home and is completely bombarded by the neighbor chick who just has no boundaries and is super in love with her usual spiel of pies or something, casseroles. I don't remember.
Her sweet potato pie.
There it is. And Lacey's character is like, oh, like, so you're my friend. And she's like, you're right. I should try something new. And she's like, yes, you should try something new. And I live here. And like her friend's like, are you high? How high are you? And it's basically 38 minutes of literally that. You're my kids, and your name is Caitlin, and your name is Cooper. Ashley, whatever. And
Allie.
You go to school. I don't care. I'm not going to be here for much longer. This is only a dream. Literally what she says.
Also,
yeah.
Very annoying that one of her kids only eats the marshmallows out of the cereal and one of her kids only eats the cereal out of the cereal.
Like,
I'd be like, no, you're going to eat the fucking marshmallows and like it.
Listen, I'm a big proponent of making your kid's childhood very special. I draw a line when you are that picky of an eater.
Yeah. I'll just buy you a different cereal.
You are not having a breakfast of marshmallows, you little punk. I don't think so. No kid of mine is going to have diabetes by 9. We're aiming for at least 17.
Yeah, you'll get diabetes. You can get diabetes when you're old enough to make your own choices. Here's the thing. You get a job and you pay for your own cereal, then you can get diabetes because then it's out of my hands.
Don't come running to me when your toes fall off.
Because you won't be able to. Thank you for that setup, Chad. Oh man.
That's funny as shit. So they're doing their thing, and the kids are teaching their mom how to be a mom, and apparently over the course of like 5 or 6 days, she never tells her children she loves them at all, and like listen,
not a single time.
Like I know some parents don't do that. That's their thing, I guess, but it's not conducive to a well brought up child's existence. And even the kids are like, listen, bitch, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you are not bringing your A game to this household. And the little one's like, gonna replace you. And Lacey Chaber's like, I'm trying. And I'm like, wait, is this a fucking body swap movie? How are the kids better parents than you? You're 35.
Yeah, it's very weird how this went from being like a dream Christmas Carol type movie to being an episode of Wife Swap on TLC. And they were like, no, we're just going to get rid of you. Like, you suck.
Only without the benefit of it being Mick Foley's family.
True. Didn't he swap with Roddy Piper's wife? Yeah.
Oh, wait, did he? I thought it was just some rando.
No, I'm pretty sure his wife and Roddy Piper's wife swapped.
Oh, God, that would have been awful. I need to find that episode.
I'll look this up. You continue with the plot.
So basically, she starts to resign herself to this fate, this horrible existence where the man she never stopped loving is now her husband, and her 2 children who are far more competent human beings than she is. She's stuck in this household, and she's starting to like it, even though, like, what did she do? She walked the dog once, bought cookies, burnt cookies, and then went to one event where she helped decorate. And now she's in love with her new life. I get it. We got like an hour and 22 minutes to fill a story, but like, did we need 20 minutes of her having a conversation with a dog? I don't think so. The dog was awesome. Best side character in the movie. Maybe even the best lead in the movie.
The 5-minute scene where she's like struggling to remember the dog's name because the random stranger wants to know the dog's name.
You could have said Muffins, Fluffy. Could have just said, I named him Dog.
Could have said anything. Could have said literally anything. You will never you will more than likely never see. No, you will never see this person again, because once you get back to your normal life, this person will have not known you or that fucking dog. You could have literally told them that the dog's name was fucking Dan or Charles.
This is Cliff. He's my dog. And the best
This is
part is
my
like
dog Steven.
the woman is looking at Lacey Chabert character like, I'm gonna call the cops. You stole this dog. I know you did. And nothing happens. Like it's a scene for the sake of having a scene, and I hate it. I hate it so much because there was
Yeah.
nothing to it. So
Yeah.
they go to this party thing, and she witnesses her old underling get jump jacked by a fucking huge hollow
Yeah.
candy cane.
So her assistant in this universe, her assistant in the other universe, the universe A, universe Prime, was her name was Carrie Garrett, which fuck you. What Carrie Garrett? Why would you start the first and last names with the same like sounds? The same fuck. Ugh, I hate it.
You're not a fan of the alliteration?
Of Carrie Garrett? It's not alliteration because it's not like Carrie Carrot is her name.
True. Although that would be a better name.
So I think technically it is alliteration. It's just seconds. It's like second syllable or something like. It's not syllable, but it's like second letter. There's like a term for it in the English language, but I hate it. Like the rhyming scheme, basically. It's just give her a better name. So she's the reporter in this universe, and she's like doing this big story that like she was working on in the other the other universe Prime, and in the middle of getting ready, or not even the middle, before they're getting ready to film this big story, this heartwarming story, a fucking candy cane falls on her. No, it was in the middle because the camera was rolling, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, it was just about to start. She had just done her opening. I am Carrie Garrett. And
candy cane falls on her, fucking knocks her unconscious. So fucking Lacey Chabert runs over to her, goes, "Are you okay?" Looks at the microphone, looks at the camera. Instead of helping her out from under the candy cane, grabs the microphone, goes, "Carl, keep the camera rolling." And Carl, the cameraman, who was her cameraman in Universe Prime, was like, "How the fuck do you know my name? But I guess I'll just do my job." She does her whole fucking spiel. The news executives like love it. She becomes an international YouTube sensation overnight. So from there, she gets like an interview at the news station because she wants to start up this section of like family, like heartwarming family news, family friendly internet news or whatever it is.
She wants to cater to the younger audience by putting videos on YouTube.
Yes. So she's Jimmy Fallon.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
I was already having a hard enough time getting into this because like I love Lacey. This is a bad movie though, and now you're making me hate Lacey even more.
This is not anywhere close to being one of her better movies.
I'd rather watch Lost in Space.
True. So all of this, her trying to get her job back and get her life back, is causing friction with her husband. And her interview, her dinner, she already went on the one interview, but she has to have a dinner with the network executive, or whatever the fuck, the fucking owner of the news company that she was gonna work for. But it was on the same day, at the same time, as her daughter's recital, or like play, or whatever. It was like a Christmas pageant, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
So then she's presented with the ultimate choice of, do I go and try and get this job, or do I go to the daughter's pageant? And of course, it's a Hallmark movie, so she chooses the job, and then she has a successful career, and she splits up with her husband and family. So, it was fun while it lasted.
So,
all right, now that I've lied to you,
the movie takes a dramatic shift by a half a degree. She goes to bed after begging her husband, remember this. He's like, all right, goddamn fine.
Yeah. We should actually tell them what actually happened. She goes to the pageant. she's in love with her family. And when she goes to bed that night, she's like begging her husband, "Remember this. No matter what happens, you'll remember me and you'll remember this." And the husband's like, "All right, fucking what crack are you smoking?" Um,
You
and then she
cray
goes to
cray.
bed. Yeah, and then I'll let Chad finish up from there because I'm tired of I'm not tired of. I am. I want to stop hijacking you telling the rest of the plot.
So she wakes up and she's like, "Oh shit, where'd everyone go?" And she starts darting around her $1 million apartment that she could not afford on a local TV
No,
salary. I know
no,
people in the
no, no,
local
no.
media. They make as much as I do, and that ain't much. So she's in this fucking high-rise apartment. She sits down, and you start to maybe notice that things aren't right because as she's sitting there wondering where her children and husband went, there's like a pair of random-ass binoculars there. What kind of shit is this woman into?
She's so like at the window of her high rise apartment, you just see this gigantic bay, and it's like a huge body of water. And all I'm thinking is like, does she think that her like her husband and kids drowned or something, and she'll find their bodies at sea? Like, what are those binoculars doing there?
So it's a Hallmark movie, so we never see any hanky-panky. But I guarantee you that part of the reason why there was never any hanky-panky when she was married to her now fictional husband is because she doesn't do the duality. She likes more of the solo play, if you will, from a distance. She's a voyeur. That
I
would
don't
make this
like
movie
this
a
conversation.
hell of a lot more entertaining, at least. Not better, just
But
entertaining.
entertaining, yes.
Like an episode of Jerry Springer. We don't feel good for watching it, but we're
Yeah,
not bored.
very true.
So she goes running around. She finds the Santa Claus, and she has the opportunity to cover this big story. And she tells Santa like, "I want to go back," and he's like, "Bitch, how many times do we gotta have this conversation? I can't do shit for you." And then
Yeah,
he's
it's
like,
very.
"Go on."
Go ahead.
No, go on.
Well, I was gonna say the Santa's like, it's like Hannah, I didn't show you that so that I could change the past. No, or so that you could change the past. No,
He's all
I
like,
showed you that.
I'm a bargain basement Santa clone. Like, I got like two skills. I can show you what you lost out on, and I'm really good at picking Powerball numbers. That's it. Like, that's it. Those two things I'm really good at. Anything else, you need the real Santa. Clearly, I'm not, because I'm like 140. So he's like,
Oh,
so finish what he was telling her, because he says something about like,
yeah.
where she needs to go or what she needs to do.
So yeah, he goes, I didn't show you that so that you could change the past or that I could change the past because I can't. I showed you that so that you could change the future. And then right then and there, fucking light bulb goes off in her dumb little head. And she's like, I know exactly what to do. Thanks, Santa. I'm exaggerating, but that's pretty much what happened.
No, she says, thanks, Santa.
She does say thanks, Santa, but she doesn't go, thanks, Santa.
No, she does the whole, thanks, Santa. Like that hand on, like that condescending hand on the elbow. Thanks, Santa.
Oh my god, the little is absolutely what she did.
Kind
Thanks,
of like,
Santa.
hey, Lacey, don't feed your dog chocolate. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, it's oh god. So the final scene of the movie is that it fades to black, opens up on a like a restaurant or something. I
She's
don't
sitting
know.
on like some type of like outdoor haberdashery. No, not haberdashery.
A haberdashery.
She's sitting like on
And
like
it's
some steps.
a
But they're like
clothing
stone.
accessory store for men.
But there's like a stone stepping kind of area, like with like long extended stone steps for you to sit on. Like she's clearly in some type
Yeah.
of like outdoor promenade, and she's waiting, and then all of a sudden you see her ex-boyfriend from the start of the movie slash her husband from the alternate timeline.
The middle of the movie.
Yeah, from alternate timeline. We're in prime timeline. That's alternate timeline. And he's
Prime
like,
time,
he's like, oh
baby.
my God, I'm so happy to see you. What's it been, 10 years? And she's like, oh my God, yeah, like 10 years. We totally just didn't have kids. What? It's kids? You want kids? What? No. You want to go walk and have coffee? Sure. And then the movie ends.
And then the movie, yeah. Oh my god, dude. Ugh. It happened.
Yeah, it was a thing. Definitely a thing.
Yeah, it was a movie. We never settled on what our rating system for this was going to be
That's true.
for these movies. What did we do for the ones that we did already?
Uh, y- why are you asking dumb questions that we both know that I don't know the answer to?
I don't know. I'm going to the website. I'm looking it up. Should be under Ohio guys, right?
Well, you'll probably have to search it. I don't even know if we got it
HallMarks
on.
Halloween special.
Okay. I do not know if they're gonna have the scores listed in them.
Nope. They sure don't. So we could do this. We could do this, Wrestling Observer style and do it out of 5 stars. We could do it out of 10. Um, it's what do we wanna do this out of?
Well, I think the best way to do this is to come up with our 5 tools. Like
Okay.
acting, writing, directing, script.
Oh yes, that's right. We did talk about this. We wanted to break it down and then give it an average score. So we wanted to give it 2 different average scores, and then our combined average scores is the movie's average
Right.
score.
But I don't
Okay,
remember
and we
what
want
5 we settled on.
well, let's acting. Let's do acting, writing, set dressing slash background.
Here.
You know?
I'm gonna use my rating system from my Star Trek site
Okay.
because I do 5 there. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. I just need 1.
Cool.
Where the fuck is it?
If you're a fan of the
There it
HallMarks
is.
podcast and you remember our Halloween special, you would distinctly remember us saying that we were going to work this out by the next time we did another HallMarks podcast.
And if you're a fan of the Ohio Guys podcast, you know that was never a real possibility.
If you're a fan of the Ohio Guys Productions, you know that we're full of shit.
No, we're not full of shit. We just don't amount to much. We're
We
honest.
just lie blatantly on air.
No, we're honest. We just have no follow through.
You're 100%. It's 100%.
Okay.
We're a lot like the Cleveland Browns. How we say we want to do something, and then our on-field results just don't match up entirely.
No, it's now the Cleveland Cavs because the Browns are successful.
I didn't. Oh yeah, true. The Browns have a winning season and could end a 17-year playoff drought.
Okay,
So.
so we're gonna need to change one of these, but the other 4 work.
Okay.
Acting, writing, design, and enjoyability. The 5th one is special effects, but that doesn't cater to a Hallmark movie. So let's just go with sex appeal.
I want to do like heartwarmingness because Hallmark movies are supposed to be heartwarming.
Yeah.
The
That kind of falls into
factor.
enjoyability, though.
Yeah, you're right. That falls under enjoyability.
So what's our 5th gonna be?
Well, instead of special effects, we could do like practical set dressing and like background and
That's
environment.
Design.
Oh yeah, you're right. Design. Damn.
Yeah. See, I'm really good at covering all the bases with these things. Star appeal?
Good. Just how about like broad appeal, like general appeal overall? Is like if this movie wasn't a Hallmark movie and was released into the wild to the general public and not marketed under the Hallmark banner, how do we think it would fare out of our score?
Let me throw a wrinkle into that. What about if we,
Okay.
What if we look at it in terms of how did they do in terms of reeling us in? Did they have enough star power before we saw the movie? Did the synopsis hold enough weight?
Okay.
How does that sound?
So, yeah, I like that. What do
Okay.
we want to call that for the category then?
Appeal.
Yeah, let's just call it appeal.
So we'll go in acting, writing, design, appeal, enjoyability.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this category had a different name in the Halloween version.
Probably. I don't even think we did categories. I think we just did like out of 5 or out of 10 or something.
It's very possible.
So for acting, are we doing this out of 5 or out of 10?
5.
All right, we'll keep it with the 5-star Meltzer reviews, because this podcast is called the HallMarks, so of course we have to fucking keep it wrestling related. So for acting, I'm giving this a solid 2 stars. 2. I'll keep track of my score to give you the average at the end. By the way,
we're not doing stars; we're doing crowns.
2. Oh yes, 2 Hallmark crowns. Yes, 100%.
I am going to go a little different than you. Are you recording both of our scores just for?
Yeah, I can do that.
Just do the 5 kind of categories and then swish on top, chat on top, and then slash it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's acting, writing,
design, appeal, enjoyability.
And enjoyability.
Appeal is about star power. Where we sucked in with the leads.
I'll do my scores first, and then I'll do a slash, and then do your scores.
Perfect. So you got a 2 for acting. I'm going with a 3 for acting. Not because anyone really delivered any amazing lines, but the dog was on point. His goal was to be fluffy and fluffy. Nailed it.
And adorable.
Well, what dog isn't adorable? Dude was fluff-tastic, so I'll give it a 3. So let's move on to writing.
And let's establish this now so people know that we do not break our scales for any reason.
Nope.
It is you get either a hard 0 or a hard 5.
Correct.
There are no negatives.
We don't do 0.
Yes.
1 out of 5.
Okay.
1 to 5. That's it.
1 is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You get a hard 1 or a hard 5. You can do decimals in between, but you can only do decimals in halves. So a 0.5. Well, should we do it in fourths?
No. The way we do it on GameCore is we do whole numbers, and then the decimals come if there's like a difference. It's like you did 2, I did 3, so it's a 2.5.
Gotcha. So whole numbers only from 1 to 5.
Yes.
There are no 7-star Hallmark movies. There are no, I don't care if I don't care if the movie actually stars Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega.
Would that be a romance?
Yes. No, it would be only a romance movie. Coda and Kenny.
It's got love between
two guys.
Okay, so writing.
All right. Writing is surprise, is getting a hard 1 from me.
I'm gonna go with a 2.
It was abysmal.
So I'm giving it a 2 because of the potential. Why are you giving it a 1?
I'm giving it a 1 because I also believe that it had potential. The plot is there. You're literally drawing from one of the most well-done Christmas stories of all time. And here's the thing. This is one of the most well-done Christmas stories of all time in Christmas Carol. The Muppets turned it into a 7-star movie because they're the Muppets. You couldn't even produce like a nugget of the charisma that movie has. Yeah, you get a 1, man.
To be fair, this movie didn't have Tiny Tim, who was a little salamander or a little tadpole with a broken leg.
What was the rat they used to wash
Rizzo?
Rizzo. Thank you for making me a part of this.
I loved Rizzo. We're gonna have to do all the Muppet movies at one point, or at least the modern ones. Like Muppet Christmas Carol, Muppet Treasure Island, Muppets in Space. Definitely Muppets in Space. Holy shit, Muppets in Space is so good. Goldberg was in it. All right. So how do we feel about design?
I gave it. This is where I'm willing to be lenient. Design, the set dressing, the background, the suburban San Francisco, it all kind of felt realistic. So I'll go ahead and give it a 3.
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
I like the high rise apartment.
Yes.
Although I do want to point out, he goes, we get by, where we just get by, and I like that. Like I like our life. And I'm sitting there going, bitch, you in a $1.2 million house just to buy my ass.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I did. That's one thing that I will give it points from is going from very modern, very sleek, high-rise apartment to very like suburban, rustic home. You know, it's a good duality of the two lives.
A modern rustic, I would say. It's not complete.
Yeah.
They didn't go from downtown high rise to your mother's, fucking out there horse farm.
A house that you would hear about in a Tim McGraw song,
right? Or a Bo Burnham song.
So, yeah, definitely they did good on the design. They did a respectable job with the design. So when it comes to appeal, how do you think that this movie appeals, Chad?
Well, we picked it based off. Well, I picked it based off of just the fact it was Lacey Chabert, so I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm right there with you.
You hit me with the Lacey, and I'm like, I'm in. It's Lacey Chabert. She's 38. She looks, 22. How can I not? So
100%.
hard yes.
100%. I think this could have been a 5 if the supporting actors had an ounce of the charisma that she has.
Yes, agreed.
Like her friend Tammy was like a decent pick for being like the sidekick friend character. Her husband was a fucking wooden board.
Yep.
You know, the executives weren't executive enough for me.
Fair.
Yeah. So
did
you
certainly
disagree with
No, I agree. It certainly wasn't that one movie, the Halloween one, where the candy companies were trying to buy out the other candy company, and like the sons were just like cartoon villains.
Yes, that one. Those executives were executive.
Love it.
Those lawyers were lawyery.
My skin crawled when I saw them, so they did a good job.
Yes, 100%. They literally left a slime trail when they walked.
So,
all right,
we're both agreeing on a 4 then.
Yes, agree on a 4 for appeal, and then enjoyability.
I think I'm gonna go hard with a 2. Like, there's so much that could have been done if you just had a better writer. Like, honestly, but like there was even a scene that was cut out. Apparently, did you realize that when she walks the dog, she comes back and she starts talking to the dog, and she's like, "Well, next time you knock the tree over, how about we just don't?" And we're like, "What? When did that happen?"
It feels like they just cut that for time.
Yeah, they probably did.
I would, yeah. You literally, the last 3 categories were on the same page. Enjoyability is a 2. The writing and the casting, besides Lacey Chabert, the writing and the casting really doomed this movie. It just didn't have. This was Lacey Chabert cast as Atlas, and the rest of this cast and the writing and the script were the world. Mm-hmm. So she put it all on her back, and she carried it to the fucking finish line. So I'm right there with you. It gets a 2 out of 5 from me and a 2 out of 5 from you. So let me see here. So for acting combined, we give it a 2.5. For writing combined, we give it a 1.5. For design, it gets a 3. For appeal, it gets a 4. And for enjoyability, it gets a 2. So let's add all that up and see what our final tally is, right?
I don't believe a text is the final tally.
What?
You got a text, and I heard it, so I said I don't think a text is the final tally.
I got a Xbox Live invite. 2.5 plus 1.5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 divided by 2. I don't think we should. Damn. How do we do this? Oh, do we divide it by the amount of categories, right?
No. What's the final score?
So if you divide it by 2,
if
I add it all up,
just add it all up. Tell me what the final score is.
Okay. 1.5 plus 2.5. Give me a second. 13.
Okay, so you take 13, you divide that by 25 because that's what it's out of.
Ah, yes, you're right.
and then that percentage will be the final score. So it's like 52%.
Yeah, 52%.
So basically, the way we do the evaluations or so is like anything from like 90 to 100% is like tier Hallmark, like the best, the choicest. Mwah. Like we're talking like ribeye steaks or what are those Japanese steaks called with all the marbling? It's like one
Wagyu.
Wagyu beef. It's like one of them. It's like
Yep.
bop, mwah. 80 to 90% or 89% is like really good, recommendable. Add this to your date night catalog of movies. 70 is 70 to 79 is maybe if you got time, check it out. 60 to 69 is if there's nothing else on, give it a watch. Anything under it is 50 to 59 is it's not great. And then like 40 to 49 is it's really not great. 30 to 39 is it's super not great. And anything lower than that is like just don't even bother.
Yeah.
So this is one of those. I'll say 50 to 59 is while still failing, it's a recommendable only if you're a fan of the star. If you really like Lacey Chabert, watch it. Otherwise, there's no reason. I'll come up with an official one that I'll post on the website in terms of like what the scales are, because we have one for the Game Core side of things, so we'll do one for the Hallmark side of things as well.
Cool. So, Family for Christmas gets an official 52 out of 100 here on the well, it's not the inaugural edition of the HallMarks podcast, but it's our first Christmas one, and our first of many to come. Not a great start, but it's kind of you start with the weakest, you end with the strongest. So we're definitely going to work our way up, and I'm almost guaranteeing that the next two movies we watch / review, as I've already watched them. Chad is still yet to watch the next two. They will definitely be in the higher tiers, 100%. Not 100% guaranteed, but like they're gonna do better. They're not gonna get 100%. So
we'll be back on this channel, twitch.tv / RealNerdCorp. By the by, you remember that we actually have a Twitch channel for this, right?
Yeah, we do. I should probably do something with that.
Well, if we don't, we don't. Not a big deal. But the next two nights, we're gonna Tuesday and Wednesday, we're gonna be live again, 10 o'clock. Twitch.tv / RealNerdCorp. We're going to talk more Hallmark movies the next two nights. Tomorrow night is I got it right here.
Holiday date. And then the third one on Wednesday is going to be about cats, apparently. 9 Lives for Christmas.
So holiday date tomorrow, 9 Lives for Christmas on Wednesday. All three of these will be exported over to the YouTube side of things, so they will be available for your viewing pleasure. And we'll have a scale and rating system set up on the website underneath the Ohio Guys banner, or not the banner, but the Ohio Guys tab. That's where the Hallmark stuff will be, so be sure to check that out.
Yes. So, we appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. This has been an absolute blast. Hallmark movies are great. I forgot to tell my little story that I meant to tell when I said we were going to get on air. So, I'll just end with this. I was talking to a couple friends of mine as we were playing Smite. We had just finished up, actually, and I told them that I had to... this was, I think... Thursday night, so we were supposed to do this on Friday, but we needed to push. So Thursday night we were talking. I was like, "Yeah, so blah blah blah. I got to do this podcast about Hallmark movies," and they're like, "Why are you doing a podcast about Hallmark movies?" And I told them it's because Hallmark movies are the pinnacle of cinema. maybe not because of the reasons you would expect. It's not like an Avatar where it's going to gross $1 billion, but every single movie follows the same format. It's always about a girl who's, comes from a wildly different lifestyle, or a guy that comes from a wildly different lifestyle, but falls in love with a girl that's from a wildly different lifestyle. And through their interactions together, they learn to accept their flaws and their differences, and they find love, or some bullshit like that. And I was sitting there and I'm giving them this whole spiel. And my buddy Kyle, who's the one who just invited me to the Xbox party. He goes, only you. And I'm like, oh man, he's about to be like, only me, as in like only I could like these Hallmark movies. And it's just silent, and he goes, only you could make me want to watch a Hallmark movie. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And then I explained the plot of Holiday Date to them. And they were like, God, I'm going to have to watch this fucking movie now. And I was like, yes, do it. And then listen to our podcast and share it on all your social medias. So.
All right, RealNerdCorp.com, RealNerdCorp.com, Twitch.tv/RealNerdCorp, YouTube.com. Check it out, Real Nerd Corp. Search it. Twitter is NERDCORP. Instagram is Real Nerd Corp. Switch word to your personals.
You can find me on Twitter at X2000Gregs, X2000GREGS. You can find me on Instagram, 2000Gregs, 2000GREGS. Chad, where can they find your personal stuff?
You can find me on mine at Chad Nerd Corp for Twitter, CHADNERDCORP, and on the Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut. We're done. We're out of time. We got to go. Swish, take us home.
Thank you all for tuning in to another edition of the HallMarks podcast. We will see you tomorrow night for another goodbye, good night, and when it comes to Hallmark movies, I was going to say keep marking out.
I like it. Keep marking out. Dig it.
Keep marking out. Good night, everybody.